Because our guest is ready and waiting. He is a former first round pick of the New York Rangers. He is currently on a tear in the goal scoring department with 4 goals in his last 3 games. He is American stud defenseman of the Carolina Hurricanes, Brady Skjei. Brady, thanks for joining us, brother.
Thanks, fellas. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Brady, I got to start with this, man. Again, thank you. Just to reiterate what Nick said there. Thanks for popping on here. One of the all-time, I'm sure you've had this question asked a lot. How much play did you get off that Chance the Rapper thing on Saturday Night Live? Right? Like that skit was incredible. And I don't know. I mean, how much attention did you receive from that?
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I still get it today. I get all the SKJ, that's a nope. I feel like I get that all the time. Yeah, it was pretty funny. I mean, we actually were watching it live, me and Kevin Hayes and Jimmy Vesey when we were in New York, and I saw the actor walk on the screen, and I saw the 7 on his jersey, and I looked over at Kev. I was like, that could be my jersey, like, not knowing at all what was going on. And sure enough, he turned around, and I mean, my phone just blew up after that the next day and everything, and it was funny, and I'm glad it was a really good skit too. Like, it was really funny, which made it a lot better.
So you had no idea. You had no idea. You were just organically watching this, and they come out and do that.
Yeah, no, I did know they were doing something with the Rangers, but I didn't know exactly what was going on. Like if I knew no one was going to be in it, but I didn't know what they exactly were doing. So I knew they were trying to do something with MSG and the Rangers.
What's the worst? Everybody gets their names mispronounced, man. I've had people would call me Roop, and
Mikel
but
Roop.
I mean, Mikel. Actually, I've been called Mikel Roop. They thought I was a Euro, but I wasn't. Anyways, but like, what's a way, like, growing up, like what's like some of the versions of that? I mean, because you look at that name, and I didn't want to try it, right? Like,
yeah.
So what's some of the versions you've gotten?
I've heard, honestly, everything. I've heard Skjei, Skjei, Sky, Skagey. They've even messed up my first name a few times, which I didn't think was that tough, but they've done that before. So yeah, my name's definitely got butchered a few times.
They're probably looking at the last name. They're like, holy shit, that his first name can't be normal. So like Brady.
Yeah, they start panicking a little bit.
You mentioned there that when you were in New York. So okay, you're a Minnesota born kid. You grow up and you play at the University of Minnesota. You get drafted first round, New York Rangers. You play, I think, just over a year in Hartford, and then you get to the Big Apple, right? You get to New York, Broadway, the big lights. And you mentioned Kevin Hayes and Jimmy Vesey. If I recall, you guys had like the young guys pad in New York City, right?
We did, yeah.
How was that like? What was that transition like as a young guy coming in? You're in the city. I actually watched a clip. I watched a clip of you guys almost doing like your version of MTV Cribs, and it was pretty incredible, man. You guys literally had a bowl of butter in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
And that was not a container of butter, like a bowl of butter. And that was like it. Like, how was that transition being in New York?
Yeah, it was, I mean, it was great. I absolutely love that city. I still do. I have no bad things to say about it. I absolutely love my time there. I think the clip that you saw was when me and VC were actually living together our rookie years, my first year.
Okay.
And yeah, the Rangers did their own little MTV Cribs at our apartment, and me and VC got called in the next day to AV's office, and he was like, come on, guys, get it together. At least get some food or some water or something in the refrigerator, which was pretty funny. I mean, we definitely took advantage of the city. We had breakfast and lunch at the rink, and then whenever we were home for dinner, we always went out to a restaurant, which I'm glad we did. We weren't much cooks, and yeah. Then the second year, me, Kevin, Jimmy all lived together in Tribeca in a pretty cool apartment.
Oh, so you guys up the ante going into year 2. How was Hazy? Hazy's one of the greatest dudes I've met. I never got to play with him, but I met him a few times. I mean, was that like? I mean, you guys had to have a blast down there in Tribeca.
Yeah, we did. He's the best. They were both in my wedding this summer, actually, so we're still obviously really good friends. yeah, it was. We decided to live together because that first year he was either always at our place or we were at his apartment. So we're like out to dinner one night and we said like, screw it, let's just all go in together on a place. And we looked on Zillow or whatever it was that night and walked by the place and contacted the guy. And I think we signed that deal like a week later. So it was worked out pretty well.
Yeah, you have I did a little bit of research and I got a couple stories to cue you on.
Oh,
and
no.
so we'll see if you're down with doing that.
Classic rougher.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
boy.
this is going to jump forward and we're going to get into the Canes talk here in a little bit here because you guys are an absolute wagon and a fun team to watch. But I did hear you scored a pretty spectacular goal in the red white game this year. I don't know if you could lead us into that and kind of give us the what was everybody's response to your nice goal?
Oh my gosh, is this funny? Yeah, so I don't know. We were scrimmaging the red white game. We were just like in training camp, towards the end of training camp, and puck popped out to me in the neutral zone, and I think Teravainen and Svetch or Teravainen and Aho, two guys collided, and there's quite a bit of fans in the building watching, and I took the puck not knowing what to do, and they're both like slowly getting up. Everyone in the whole entire rink is
holding their breath,
watching them, and I went down and scored, and there was not a peep in the whole entire arena. I think one person was watching me with the puck, which is hilarious. I think I know who heard that story from. I'm sure he told you I was twirling my stick and all this. And that part's not true, but it was pretty funny. I mean, I think I was the only guy still playing or barely playing, and I scored, and no one cared at all, which was pretty funny.
So the two superstars are
they're down and hurting, and I'm going down looking for a goal.
Was it a breakaway? No,
it was a 2-on-1, and I think the defenseman wasn't even looking at me, and the other my guy on 2-on-1 was probably turned backwards looking at the guys on the ground. So the goalie probably wasn't even looking either.
That's incredible.
Brady, are you guys still doing the storm surge? I haven't seen much of it on social media or on TV. Were you there like when they were doing it, or is it still going on?
Yeah, we're still doing it. It's tamed down a little bit since I first got here. We've done some stuff that we usually just do the clap and then, salute the fans after the game. We've done a few things, passed out like Halloween candy on Halloween to fans and stuff like that. But it was funny. I got traded here from New York, and I think we lost like the first 4 games at home when I got traded. So I never experienced like a full-on storm surge. But yeah, it's great. I mean, it's awesome. All the fans stayed till the end, and we get to give them a nice salute after the game.
So I'm going to put you in, you can sweat one more of these out, then we'll get to the real hockey talk with you.
Yeah, that's fine.
So the other one I got here, I'm going to read it to you and see if we can cue you on it. This is your time with the Rangers. See if you might know who this one came from as well. It says, ask him about the Brady Hung story.
Oh my God.
That's a Mark Stahl thing. And for the listeners out here, I play with Jordan Stahl. I play with Mark Stahl. Jordan Stahl is, those guys are completely different. Like Mark is just like, you're wearing something funny coming in. He's like, what the, like he's on guys. He doesn't let nothing slide past Mark Stahl. So what was that story all about?
It kind of says for itself. I think we had a team party or something, and I don't exactly know if it was Halloween or just a team get together, and the whole team went out, and we were all enjoying ourselves, having some cocktails, and it seems like whenever I do that, my eyes the next morning tend to droop a little bit, and I can't hide it. And of course, the first guy I see walking in is Mark, and him, he gave it to me right away. He's like, Jesus, did you sleep at all, or you look so hungover? And he started calling me Brady Hung that whole day, and that one luckily didn't stick, but it's getting some traction over the last couple interviews I've done, so hopefully we can put an end to that.
Dude, Stalzy's unbelievable. Like the way
he's the best.
he would just sit there and like, I mean, the things that were, there'd be times I remember like, you know, he would call guys out in the room, but he'd do it in like a way that it's like he's prodding, he's half serious, half joking, but he got his point across, and it was just like it was hilarious, right? Like his comedic timing was always on point. He is like that dry kind of sense of humor that always kept guys on their toes, always chin checked you inside that room.
He is the best. It's fun. I mean, he is way different than Jordan. I played with Eric too that little bit when he was in New York, so I got to play with all three of them, and they all are very different from each other. Mark's definitely the most outgoing and definitely gives it the guys the most.
This is just where my mind goes, and I have a very weird sense of thought sometimes. I played with two of them. You played with you know Eric. Wait, what'd you say? You played with Eric?
I played with Eric when he got traded to New York that last.
That's right. I forgot about that. Are all three of these motherfuckers? Everybody calls them Stalzy. All three guys, like they can't have a different nickname. Like it's Stalzy, and Stalzy. You know, is that how it is?
I just thought about that. They're all Stalzy. I don't know what we did, and we must have called Eric in New York. I know he had the E stall in the back and the M stall for that little bit of time he was there. But yeah, I mean, we called it's either Jordo or Stalzy down here. So, and it was always Stalzy in New York. So they all got the same nickname.
What's Pop's name? Hank, right? Isn't it Hank?
Yeah.
So I was with the Rangers. We were playing against Pittsburgh, and I played in Pittsburgh the prior year. It was a father's trip with the Rangers. And Hank Stahl, great man. He's on the trip, obviously. And so we're going into Pittsburgh to play. And I go to hit Jordan, who just came back from injury. He was out for a long time. I go to hit Jordan, and I go knee on knee with Stalzy. Jay Stalzy. And I go knee scumbags, right? I go knee on him, and his knee bends back. It was just like one of those where it wasn't intentional. Obviously, I love Stalzy. But anyways, I got him, and he's down. He's rolling around. He's yelling. I got on the bus to go to the airport, and all the dads are there. And I walk by Hank Stahl, and he just like, he mother F's me going by with his eyes. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like what? I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think about this. Like I just injured his son. And I'm playing with Mark, and I'm like, Mark, like, dude, I didn't do it. He's like, I'm like, dude, your dad's pissed. He's like, I felt like a little kid. I'm like, I think your dad's pissed at me. So I get on the plane and I go up to him, and I felt like a little kid. Like, at this point, I played in the league for like 9 years. Yeah. I'm going up to him like a little kid. I'm like, Mr. Stahl, I'm like, I'm really sorry that I hurt Jordan. And he's like, dude, it's fine. Don't worry about it. But that family is it's a great family. All three of those guys, man, the big rigs, they're all built the same. It's completely different personalities, man.
Yeah, no, they are unbelievable. It's a special family. All good friends of mine. They're just great guys.
Brady, please correct me if my timing is off in any of this, but it's kind of a long-winded question. But I believe you broke in with the Rangers, obviously, and I believe as a rookie, you guys went to the playoffs. And maybe it was a second year, but I know you played the Penguins in one of those series, and you were getting some pretty significant minutes and stuff. And because I remember watching, like, oh, whoa, who's this kid? He's pretty damn good. He can move the puck. You made an impact kind of right away. You spent some time in New York, and then I believe you signed a deal with them. And then you mentioned that you were traded. Can you talk about what that trade was like and how that went down and like what the feeling was like when that happened?
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, obviously every player says when you start out in the league, you think you're gonna be on the same team for your whole career. And it was just circumstances. I mean, I loved it in New York. I loved the Rangers. I loved the organization. I don't know, it didn't fit anymore. And it was crazy. We were actually, me and my wife now were at a coffee shop in the West Village on the deadline day. I heard some rumors like 2 days before, I wasn't even on that trade bait list. And then suddenly I jumped onto it at like 20. I was like, oh no, what is this about? So we're sitting in the coffee shop, and it was like 3:15, and the trade deadline ended at 3. So I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, well, it must have been just rumors or whatever. And then sure enough, I like refreshed my Twitter, and one of the insider guys were like, Skjei to the Canes. And like 10 seconds later, I got a call from my agent saying I got traded. And it was crazy. I mean, it was just whirlwind. I was I had tons of emotions, and I flew to Raleigh that next day, and I think that was the best thing for me. I just got in the locker room with the new guys right away, and they made me feel welcome, and it turned out to be a great move for me in my career, I think.
How about playing for Rod? That has to be awesome. We hear all these stories about him. We see the media hits with him, and he's always so personable and just such a great guy. He's always got these cool little lines he drops, and we're all everybody. I feel like the internet loves him, and it's got to be like just an awesome experience playing for that guy.
Unbelievable. It really is. He's the best coach I've had for sure in my career, and you want to play from every single game. You feel like he wants to be out there so badly, and it's all about us as a team. It's not like coach against player. It's everything together, and he's just an amazing coach. And we're lucky to have him. I feel like every single game he's got. I don't know if he even thinks about it, but his pregame speech just get you jacked up. And he's been unbelievable for this organization. Obviously playing, but the way he's in the last few years, he's kind of turned this program around. He's a special guy for sure.
So how does that, you mentioned that his pregame speeches, and we see a few whether it's Canes TV and those stuff kind of come out on social media, and the few that I see, and I'm like, dude, I want to play for this guy, right?
Yeah.
Is that like, I've always found, and you've had a few coaches in your career, it's like, I'm a believer, like it's either like that high school football mentality, like for Rod, it's like, I'm going to go through a wall for this guy. This guy's got my back. I got his, and it brings the group together. That you get success that way, or it's almost like us against him, and you get success that way. I find that a lot of times when you're in between, you're not able to get everything out of everybody. So what is it about him that is it just because he's speaking as a player, and what is, what goes into those meetings there? Like how do you keep inspiring guys like that? You know what I mean? Like, you'd think at some point, but it's just the way the guy is and the way he's wired.
I think so, honestly. I mean, he's extremely honest. Like, he's honest with all the players. He's not jumping down guys' throats about stuff or like plays and throughout the game. He's got a ton of emotion on the bench. Like, you can just tell he's just fired up. He's so competitive, and I don't know. I mean, that just wears on you as a player. I mean, you just want to go out there, and it sounds cliche, but you just want to really like run through a wall for him and all the players. And I completely agree that, it's either everyone together, or if there's any like limbo with like the coach and all that, it doesn't work out. So it's nice. We're definitely all pulling the same weight here, which has been a ton of fun.
There's a ton of depth on this team. I mean, you sit there and look at this group, how talented it is, how well it's built. And there's just a different guy, it seems, all the time that's capable of stepping up and leading this team. What is it inside the room? Is there a guy, like, I'm not in that room, but as an outsider, sometimes I look at Marty Natchez. I'm like, this kid is freaking talented, man.
Yeah.
Like, he's got a lot of talent. But there's like, when you're thinking and rambling off players on that team, I mean, he's kind of down that list, right? Like, there's so many guys. And if you ever played on a team that's like this deep, you know what I mean? Like, this deep, lines 1 through 4, D, 1 through 6 or 7, and you've got 2 great goaltenders as well.
Yeah, no, this is definitely the deepest team I've ever played on. It's a special group of guys. I mean, Marty, like you said, Natchez is an unbelievable player. He is so skilled, and I guess what makes our team so good is that any given night, a guy can show up and make some like amazing plays, and we just kind of keep coming at teams. We really don't have a line that kind of slows down at all. It's a special group. But the biggest thing, I mean, I think our goalies have been playing unbelievable too. Freddie Anderson's been awesome, and Rance, who stepped in and plays some big games for us. So yeah, depth is huge, especially this season with all the COVID and guys going in and out of the lineup. We had a game where we played with like 10 forwards and 6D, and we still ended up winning, I think, 2 games like that. So yeah, our depth is great, and we definitely have that.
What when you're talking about you know, this season and how you stack up, and we've got the teams you guys you talk about a lot, the Florida Panthers, Tampa Bay Lightning. I know that one of the hottest teams right now is the Pittsburgh Penguins. I don't think you guys have played them yet. Is there a team out there that you've seen this year that you're like, that team's, keep an eye on that team? You know what I mean? Like that team surprised it. Like, is it the Washington Capitals? Like, so, is there a team out there that maybe not everybody's talking about that really impressed you?
I mean, I think those teams that you mentioned, Florida, Tampa, like the teams, like the Metro teams are all really, really solid. You got to be on your A game every night to play in that division. We played Vegas, and after seeing Jack back on the ice now, I think that'll be interesting to see how he fits in with that team. He's obviously an unbelievable player, and I'm happy he's healthy and playing again. So I think he'll definitely help that team a lot the remainder of the season.
Brady, you're from Minnesota. You played New York, two pretty well-known hockey markets, and then you traded to Carolina. And as Rupper just mentioned, two of the other hottest teams right now are Tampa Bay and Florida, teams you see on a regular basis. What's it like playing in like those non-traditional hockey markets? We know the Caniacs are legendary. They're out there tailgating like it's a NASCAR race, and they pack that arena and they're loud. But like, how does it? What's it like? What's the environment like? What's it like for you as a player?
I love it. It's nice. I mean, I think obviously our fans are phenomenal. Like the Caniacs are loud. The building gets extremely loud, especially like in the playoffs last year. After playing a season without many fans in the building, and then showing up to a packed rink was amazing. And yeah, it's just it's nice going to the rink in shorts and a t-shirt some days when you get nice weather. I had never done that before until coming down here. So I absolutely love it. I love it down here, and love the weather, love the fans, and the organizations is awesome.
Is anybody touching Rod the Bod in the weight room, Brady?
I don't think so. No. Yeah, he's
how often is
he's a beast. He does it. He does it when we're not there, I believe. I mean, I've seen him a few times working out, but he's definitely not missing any days. I can tell you that.
I was when I was a rookie in the league. Actually, no, it would have been probably would have been my second or third year, because whatever. It's when the Canes won the cup in what, 06?
06.
06. Yeah. They won the cup in 06. So it was a few years in. It was the next season. And we're playing against them in Raleigh there. And I'm getting ready to take a face-off coming out of a TV timeout. And they're going through and they're showing on the Jumbotron Rod's day with the cup. And he's on this boat and he's got the cup in his hands, no shirt on, no tarp. Like that, dude, this guy's chest. I'm like literally like I'm backed off before the face-off. I'm looking at the Jumbotron like this. He's standing right in front of me, getting ready to take draw. And I'm looking, I'm like, holy shit. I'm just like this skinny, lanky, like no chest. I'm just like looking at myself. I'm like, I look across, like his abs are popping out. I'm thinking like, holy shit, this guy's no joke. And you see him now when I talk to guys, on your team, and then I've seen him, they're like, dude, this guy looks like he could play right now. And is that kind of like, you come into training camp or you come into camp, you've got to be thinking like, I got to come in shape. The coach can't be in better shape than I am.
Yeah, no, definitely. He actually, I think he does the bike, like before we get there, we have a bike test, and I'm pretty sure that he does it as well before we get there. So he makes sure he passes the bike test, and then we all get there, and if we don't pass, that's not a good look. If the coach is passing and you're not.
Could you imagine if you come into camp and the coach has better scores than you?
No,
like, dude,
no.
That'd be.
You might as well pack your bag and grab your sticks and head out.
That's incredible, man. Yeah. That's incredible. I don't know what you guys got. Any more you want to ask Skjei here?
Gumpy,
is there any team you guys worry about at all, Brady? We touched on teams that would surprise you, but is there any team that you think is like the top dog besides you guys right now in the NHL, besides Tampa, obviously, after winning the cup the last 2 years?
I I don't think it's not any teams that like worry me. I mean, Tampa's proven themselves the last couple of years that they are the top dog. So, if we want to get to where we want to be, we're going to have to go through them, I believe. So, that's it's one team that every team's kind of looking at, I think, and every team's got to try to knock them off. So they've proven themselves that they're an unbelievable team. So, for teams that really worry, like going into a game, not really, no.
I'll tell you this about, this first and foremost, but some of our viewers might not realize how great the fans are down there in Carolina.
Yeah.
First of all, the loudest playoff building I think I've ever played in was down there, playing them in the playoffs. That building gets rocking. It gets really loud. And just a couple weeks ago, actually, you know what? It was on Pat's show, Nick. I was on Pat's show the other couple weeks ago or whatever that was. And I started giving my tiers of who the teams are, right? And I was like, all right, well, I got these tiers the way I like to look at it. And I've got Florida and Tampa and, I think Colorado is going to get there. They're tier 1. And then there's that next
you blew
tier.
it.
And I started naming some teams. I had basically death threats on social media. The Canes fans,
They'll come after you.
dude, I just forgot. Like, I wasn't leaving you guys off. Like, I know you guys are like, I just forgot and I didn't say it. And these Cane fans wanted to murder me. So you guys got a good group down there. You got a great group on the ice. You got a support and cast off the ice, man. And best of luck to you, dude. It's going to be a fun ride, and it's been fun watching you.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Thanks for having me. This is a lot of fun.
Hey, thanks for joining us, man.
No problem,
Thanks,
guys. Have a good night. Happy birthday,
too, bud.
Rupper.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.